The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us in FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Time for our weekly conversation with the Mayor of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan, who joins us every week. Mayor, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing great, Keith. How about you?
I am doing well. Let's start with what happened last night at the Fall River City Council. The council voted to reject the sale of the Bank Street Armory, a proposal that you put forth in terms of trying to revitalize that property. And the proposal on the table was to convert the armory into both a combination of market rate and some affordable housing. First question, what was your reaction to the vote? And I guess, how do we move forward?
Well, again, I'll wait till see what the council's thoughts are on it. I did watch the debate last night about the armory. It's again, it's a building that needs attention, but I was kind of keen on putting it back on the tax rolls, getting some getting a local developer who obviously did the property right across the street to go in there and rehab the building, obviously saving the historical significance of the exterior shell, but doing some innovative things on the inside to create some housing. He was going to make 20% of it, I believe, affordable maybe, and have a veteran's preference. So he was doing some things he did right across the street at the old BCC building, but the council decided they wanted to go in a different direction, and that's their call. So we'll see what happens going forward.
I mean, in terms of what could be next, I mean, I know you could have some conversations with members of your administration moving forward, but there have been some sentiment from members of the council that the city should try to keep it. I know that there's been talk that full renovation is extremely expensive, plus the upkeep. Is there any way that the city can at least make some temporary repairs, and then work on the next steps moving forward?
Well, it's all money, Keith. I mean, it is with everything we do in the city of Fall River. Do we want to ask the taxpayers to take on that additional bill? I mean, I heard $500,000-$600,000 to do some temporary repairs. That's, to me, I look at things in terms of that's 2 or 3 policemen, 2 or 3 firemen, maybe some teachers. That's how you have to look at these bills. And again, it may be something we end up doing, but I haven't not talked to a couple of councils this morning, but I haven't talked to a majority of them to get what their feedback is from last night. And again, we'll see what they want to do. That building has been dormant long before Paul Coogan got into office. So, we're trying to do something, but if it doesn't work out, we'll keep going.
Is there any sense of urgency? We point to the old police station, which the city has tried to sell on a number of occasions, and now it may be to a point where the next steps may need to be demolition for that property to work. I mean, I guess what is the sense of urgency from what you know of the armory in that manner?
Well, we brought that forward under what we thought was a sense of urgency, but again, the council had different ideas on the way to go, which is obviously their call, and we have total respect for them and their ability to make a decision like that. So that's going to be up to them. I had when we first tried doing this, I had asked them for any information they had where there could be some potential grants, where there could be some potential people they work with. I keep hearing CPA money, but let's face it, CPA is just tax money coming in under a different name. So again, it's the taxpayers funding it. I was hoping, like we did with the intersection that we're going to do down on the corner of Broadway and Bradford. That's a Bloomberg grant. I was looking more to see if we could get some money from the private sector that may want to tie into that to help us. But whatever happens, and we'll work our way through it with the council.
All right. We'll definitely follow it along, as we always have. Also, last night, City Council gave approval to a new fire chief. Jeffrey Bacon is set to take over after current chief Roger St. Martin retires in a few weeks. What does Mr. Bacon bring to the table in terms of a fire chief? And I'm sure you're also grateful for the service of Chief St. Martin.
Yeah, Roger was a good guy to work with. He did a solid job for us. I think I hired him a few years ago, but Jeff Bacon's obviously a little younger than the chief or myself. He has a lot of enthusiasm. He has a lot of ideas on how he wants to, you know, change some ways of doing things in the fire department. He gave us great interviews. He was, like I said, he was engaged. He seemed like he knew his stuff. Uh, he's a forever guy, even though he lives in Somerset now. But at the same time, he was the sole candidate from the from the fire department. We had the option to look at him or wait for another test, do an interim, or go out of town. But Jeff gave us a great interview, and again, he had some great ideas. So we figure we can work with Mr. Bacon, and we'll go forward. And we congratulate him on being the next chief in the city of Fall River.
I know one thing that has been part of it is out of your control in terms of police chiefs and fire chiefs. You know, you have had like two police chiefs. Now this will be a second fire chief that you've had to appoint. Some of it has to do with retirements. You know, a former police chief had to leave because of health issues. You mentioned Chief Bacon's age, I believe 47 years old. Are you hoping for some stability there and
Yeah,
how that can
absolutely.
translate to, you know, better activity and operations at the fire department?
Right, absolutely. I mean, the last two fire chiefs are both retired, and that's how I'm on my third one now. And I hope, like I said, like you said, Keith, he's a young guy. He seems like he takes care of himself. He seems like I said, he seems like the kind of guy that wants to get his hands dirty. So, you know, we believe he can do the job. I'm very confident in his ability. And again, his ideas going forward on how we wanted to try to make the fire department more community engaged. You know, I perked right up when I heard that, and I'm glad to see that that's kind of the mindset he's bringing to the job. So we'll work with him, and I'm sure he'll do a good job for the city of Fall River.
All right. And we'll be looking forward to his official swearing in, I'm sure, very soon. Mayor Coogan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll talk again next week. Take care.
Thanks, Keith. Again, sorry I'm late a little bit. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
No worries.
All right.
And thank you for joining us here at FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great rest of your week.